Today, we talk about...
Boom. All right. We live. Hey, yo. All right. So, already forgot what episode we're on, but episode whatever. And this is going to be the new format, I think. So, I should get it. You know what I mean? Hey. So, new format to the show. Today, we will be discussing lactose intolerance, the Adilette slides, sneaker releases, a sports topic I haven't decided yet, and then a Q&A at the end. So this is going to be the basic format. A medical topic, a sneaker topic, like a sneaker history topic, sneaker releases, upcoming releases, a sports topic, and then a Q&A. And I do want to incorporate a live portion. So maybe the Q&A portion will just be a live portion, but we're running into technical difficulties with charging my main phone. So we're using some alternatives here. So... let's go. So, first up, lactose intolerance. What I'm basically going to do is tell you if I know anything off the top of my head about that topic. And even for Q&As, maybe we can start incorporating some people asking for specific topics. But in this case, I just figure lactose intolerance is probably easy enough. So, let's do it. So all I know about lactose intolerance, or what I think I know, and how about we start with what I think I know, and then we'll just correct it if it's wrong. You know what I mean? That's what the interwebs is for. Am I right or am I right? I feel like I'm going to get annoyed with these gosh darn soundboard items very soon, you know?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Hey, still have to replace that one, but yeah, let's go. So lactose intolerance, what do I know about it? I know that a lot of people got it. I know that, I got to start introing myself for these things too, I think. I'm going to do a name reveal episode. I haven't decided when. And I wanted to do it before I left New York. It's like a thank you for 22,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you, guys. But whatever, we'll work on it. So yeah, well, I mean, this is all a work in progress. It's all about just getting after it, you know. You figure it out as you do it, not as you think about it. Know what I mean? Shit. Yeah. All right. So lactose intolerance. I know a lot of people got it. I know that there are tests for it, but you don't necessarily need to test for it. Like, basically just remove lactose from your diet. Milk, dairy, ice cream, etc. And if you stop shitting your pants, you got it. You got it. Brody Stevens, R.I.P. Now, what else do I know about it? I know there is testing for it. They can do breath testing for it. But breath testing is kind of annoying, man, because it's like I haven't even had it done, obviously, let alone seen it done. And I've never been at a facility that does it. Now working at multiple hospitals now, none of the hospitals I've ever worked at do it. Apparently, it's a costly test. Apparently, it's a very tedious test and doesn't reimburse very well. So there's not a lot of incentives to do it. It's something like 4 hours. You got to sit there, come back, sit there, come back. From what I hear, but let's just dive right in, man. I'm just gonna start looking up this intolerance stuff and see how we can figure out the gaps. So, clinical symptoms include abdominal pain, flatulence, diarrhea after ingestion of milk or milk-containing products. Although that's very, what's the word? Not specific. Like you can get that set of symptoms for a bunch of different issues. Know what I mean? But that's just the classic symptoms. So these symptoms have been attributed to lactose malabsorption, which results from low levels of small intestinal lactase, which may be due to mucosal injury or, much more commonly, reduced genetic expression of the enzyme lactase fluorescein hydrolase. So a fancy way of saying... you have this enzyme lactase, and that's a little buzz for you medical students, let alone medical curiosities. Anytime you see a word and then A's at the end, ASE, that's basically an enzyme for that thing. So lactase, it's an enzyme to break down lactose. What's another classic one? I can't think of an obvious one off the top of my head. I'd have to hear it. But that's kind of like the shortcut you can take to realize what does what. So if there was a goblin A's, it would be a enzyme that breaks down goblins. Know what I mean? Hey. So, all right. So let's keep moving here. So now there's different definitions to go through. So we got lactase deficiency is characterized by an intestinal... this is boring. No one wants to know about this. Let's keep it to the meat and potatoes. What people really want to know. So... Lactose intake falls as weaning foods are introduced and eventually approaches the level ingested by adults. Basically meaning kids and babies is obviously taking a lot more milk than adults, unless you're me. Although, I'll be honest, man, I haven't drank milk in a long time. I know the intro says otherwise. Hey, yo. Let's skip ahead here. So in individuals with low lactase activity, up to 75% of lactose passes unabsorbed through the small intestine towards the colon, and lactose is converted to short-chain fatty acids and hydrogen gas by the intestinal bacteria, producing acetate, butyrate, and propionate. If sufficient lactose is malabsorbed, these fermentation products and unfermented lactose cause symptoms of lactose intolerance. So basically, if you don't break down the lactose in the small intestine with natural lactase in the small intestine, it passes through into the colon, and basically in the colon, it's fermented basically by these bacteria, and then they basically shit out all these like byproducts that are not good for you. You know what I mean? Let's see. Newborn colons and adults with low small intestinal lactase can adapt to persistent lactose ingestion through bacterial conversion of lactose to short... What? Oh, wait. That sounds a little confusing. So why don't we just skip ahead? Etiology of lactose malabsorption. So the most common cause of primary lactose malabsorption, basically, so earlier they were trying to refer to deficiency versus malabsorption versus, what was the third term? Intolerance. So intolerance is clinical syndrome in which lactose ingestion causes symptoms due to malabsorption. And malabsorption occurs because you don't have enough lactase, basically lactase deficiency. So they all kind of fall into the same ish. Basically, if you don't have lactase, if you don't have an enzyme to break down lactose, then it's going to be not absorbed. So you get malabsorption of lactose, and then you get lactose intolerance. You're intolerant of the lactose because the buildup into the colon has those bacteria basically wreaking havoc on it and causing a mess. So let's find our place here again. Bunch of enzyme talk, which is kind of boring. Let's skip all that. There was a piece of this I wanted to go into a little further. Primary lactose intolerance essentially is the most common cause of it is acquired primary lactase deficiency. Acquired meaning you started out having enough and you weren't deficient, but over time you acquired the deficiency, which I know may be a little confusing for non-medical folks, but it is what it is. So let's see. Acquired primary lactase deficiency. More fancy words that we don't need. Less common causes include congenital lactase deficiency. So congenital versus acquired means congenital means you got it as a kid, you were born with it. Acquired means you adopted it later in life, or you got it later in life and you weren't born with it. Let's see. So the majority of the world's populations develop low intestinal lactase levels at preschool age. Interesting. This characteristic is most frequent in Asian and African populations. In contrast, the majority of Caucasians, whites, particularly Northern European background, maintain elevated lactase activity into adulthood. Let's see. What? Throughout the world all right, so basically in areas that have domesticated cows or other milk providers, those populations do maintain lactase activity into adulthood. And that reminds me of something I recall earlier. I remember someone, or actually I think I came to this conclusion myself. I was like, you know what, maybe it's just like a body natural adaptation where it's like, if you don't feed your body milk, then it just starts to be like, what the fuck are we doing with this enzyme? We don't need it. Let's toss it out. And then when you suddenly introduce milk or dairy or whatever into your diet, then all of a sudden you got, you know what I mean? As opposed to if you consistently put milk into your diet and you consistently consume dairy products, then your body's gonna be like, all right, we better keep this enzyme around, bruh. So that's my understanding of it, but let's see if they reference it here. By the way, this is all according to Up to Date, which is a very popular used index, I guess you could say, for medical providers. But there's a lot of stuff in here that's really not helpful sometimes, at least from a clinical level or like a base level, as opposed to like really nerdy research level. So I'm trying to like sift through that for y'all and tease out the good-ish. And maybe in the future I'll like go through these, although I feel like this is more organic. We're like kind of learning it together, which would actually be a lot easier for me to bust out longer content, which a lot of people enjoy, especially YouTube. Am I right? Exposed. And alternatively, I'll be less inclined to do this if it feels like a homework assignment. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have to like prepare beforehand, it's just like, oh man. But if I can like talk my way through it and entertain you at the same time, that'd be a lot easier for me to do. But let me know if you have a preference one way or the other, but let's keep them moving. In some of these groups, there's evidence for convergent evolution of lactase persistence. Okay, so that's kind of what I was implying, where like if you keep the need for it around, it's going to stick around. Although genetic analysis has established that lactase persistence in adulthood is inherited. But the molecular basis is incompletely understood. Great. Anyway, so I'm going to skip all the mumbo jumbo of the enzyme talk, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Congenital lactase deficiency, which again is when you have, you're just born with it, where you just don't have enough lactase, is a rare autosomal recessive disorder, meaning it's just an inherited thing, and they have diarrhea at birth. And let's see, that's kind of weird though. What do they take in for food then? Probably just like supplement non-boob milk, which does not contain lactase. I don't know. Let's see. Secondary lactose malabsorption. So you can develop it because of small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, where, again, so usually you have a huge population of bacteria in your colon compared to your small intestine. And if that lactose reaches there because it didn't get absorbed in the small intestine because you didn't have enough lactase, then they'll wreak havoc on it. Similarly, if you have bacterial overgrowth where it kind of like seeps into the small bowel, the small intestine, instead of just the colon, then they're going to start fermenting right then, right there. So that could cuck you know. Let's see. Diagnosis should be suspected from the clinical history and from a very early peak of breath hydrogen during lactose challenge. And that's the breath test I was talking about, which I don't know that I really want to go into too many of the details unless it like mentions it later, but we'll see. Small intestine infection or inflammation that causes flattening of the villi or damage to the intestinal layer can result in lactose malabsorption. Shit. I mean, think about it. If you mess with the villi, the absorption part of your small bowel in any way, infection or otherwise, then yeah, it's not going to be able to absorb the lactose. So yeah, what it is. Now let's see. Clinical manifestations. We kind of referred to this already. Just your typical flatulence, upset stomach, abdominal pain, diarrhea, bloating, day. Ooh, in addition, adolescents may have symptoms of vomiting. All right, whatever. Let's see. But yeah, this is the key feature here. There is considerable variability in symptoms among patients with lactose intolerance. So it's kind of a waste of time to like look for specific ones. It's like if you have anything in general to that set of symptoms, then that's something you should suspect, especially if it's happening right after you're having any kind of lactose containing ish. Let's see. All right, let's fast forward to individuals vary in their sensitivity to the abdominal distension. Yeah, see, so it's just variable. Patients with diarrhea due to lactose intolerance have a stool. That's boring. No one needs to know that. That's a lot more medical school friendly, which I'm not opposed to doing like more medical school friendly topics, but I feel like there's so many good teachers in the online space for that. Like, there's no real need for me to try to enter that space. They do a good job. That's how I learned. Shout out Dr. Fisher, Dr. Najib, Dr. Goljan, whatever. Shout out to y'all. Boom. Let's see. Diagnosis. So the diagnosis should be considered in patients with those classic symptoms. In adults, diarrhea is a rare symptom. Interesting. I did not know that. I would think it would be the most common symptom, but hey, yo. Presumptive diagnosis can be made in patients with mild symptoms that occur within a few hours after a significant lactose ingestion. In this case, meaning greater than 2 servings of dairy a day or greater than 1 serving in a single dose that is not associated with a meal. So basically, if you just chug some milk, and presumptive diagnosis means you just kind of base that diagnosis on that and no further testing, just based on the clinical history. Always goes back to clinical history is quite important. All right. Now, let's fast forward here. In clinical practice, a provocative test, which is an oral lactose load, 50 grams in a glass of water, and monitoring for symptoms over 4 hours may also hint to the diagnosis. But I don't know, man. Do you want to go through that much of a basically torture if you really do have it just to find out you may have it? It's just like, come on, son. A lactose hydrogen breath test with simultaneous symptom assessment confirms the diagnosis of lactose malabsorption if the breath test is abnormal. Excuse me. And of intolerance in patients who do not want to be what? I don't know what that means. Let's see. Let's see. Lactose breath hydrogen test. I guess we could explore this a little bit. Simple to perform, non-invasive, has a sensitivity and specificity that are superior to the absorption test. So basically, instead of doing the water with a bunch of lactose test in it, the actual breath test is a lot more sensitive and specific for the diagnosis. 78 and 98% respectively. So if you have a positive test, you got a positive test. Let's see. But the tricky part is if you get a negative test, it doesn't necessarily rule out that you don't have it, although 78% is still pretty good, Let's see. In children, oral lactose in the fasting state at a dose of 2 grams per kilogram. Oh my God, what the fuck? So breath test is sampled at baseline and at 30-minute intervals after the ingestion for 3 hours. So it's at least a 3-hour test, and you're checking in with them every half hour. Assess symptoms simultaneously on a scale from 0 to 5. And in addition, ask for the presence of diarrhea. Yes, no. And then you want to see a rise in hydrogen concentration of 20 parts per million over, I'm assuming that's what ppm is if I remember high school correctly, over baseline is considered diagnostic of lactose malabsorption. An increase of symptoms of 2 over baseline is considered diagnostic. In most patients, the hydrogen and the symptom peak occur 90 to 120 minutes. So basically an hour and a half to 2 hours into the test, and the test may be stopped if a diagnostic increase has been achieved. So if you hit that 20 threshold or that symptom increase threshold, although I don't really like that too much, then that's good enough. So let's go back to this. I lost my place. Oh, man. I think that's good enough, Well, I guess all they're trying to say is using both factors together, like the numbers, the objective numbers, and the symptom index, which is more subjective, together will give you a better, clear picture of if you have the diagnosis. But again, you can make that presumptive diagnosis where, hey, do you drink milk or eat yogurt or eat ice cream and then shit your pants a little bit later? Then you got lactose intolerance? Yep. Get it? You got milk. Not delay. Issues? Oh, God damn it. I'll get funnier with time. I promise. I promise, mama. Let's see. Let's just skip ahead here. Bottom line is I would recommend not getting the test and just, really just doing like a food diary and seeing, am I getting symptoms after I eat anything with milk type products in it or nah? Okay. Now, there are other tests, but I really don't want to go into these. Like, we really shouldn't be pushing alternative tests. Like, that's not even the point. So now, more importantly, management. What do we do about this? The goal of management is to eliminate symptoms.
Shit.
Cool. But the key is to eliminate symptoms while maintaining calcium and vitamin D intake. So dietary lactose restriction, that's step one. And enzyme replacement. So there are commercially available lactase enzyme preparations. So that's an option. I know some of you take those little Lactaid pills. Is it called Lactaid? I believe that's the brand name, but maybe not. Live culture yogurt is an alternative source of calories and calcium and may be well tolerated by most lactose intolerant patients. However, yogurts that contain milk or milk products added back after fermentation may produce symptoms. Again,
shit.
Yeah, no shit. Let's see, what else can you do? So you can take those lactase enzyme preparations, but these products are not capable of completely hydrolyzing all dietary lactose, and the results achieved in individual patients are variable. Way to cover your ass, but it's true, Let's see, the other thing to do, routine daily consumption of lactose-containing products may be better tolerated than intermittent consumption. And again, that kind of goes to what I was saying earlier. You can't just like cut it totally out and then try to put it back in. But just like any other food, you get a vegetarian who suddenly starts eating meat again all of a sudden, be prepared for some upset stomach. Let's see, I do want to just skip ahead. I'm kind of bored already with this topic. And key is if I'm bored, then you guys might be bored too. Although I'm still trying to judge that. Like, what's boring to me and what's not to you? Nah, man. All right. Lactose, blah, blah, blah. Enzyme replacement we went through, calcium and vitamin D. Obviously, you can take pills and supplements for that without taking milk, so AO. And that's kind of it. And there is a little summary here, but I feel like we hit all the key points. And to be honest, maybe in the future, I'll just hit the summary points. And then if you have additional questions, maybe on the next episode of each new episode, maybe we'll run it back and answer those specific questions by referencing back the same index in depth. So maybe that's the move here. Maybe we'll keep it limited to like the key summary and recommendations. And then if something's unclear or you want some additional information on a particular part, we just go back and dig into the meat a little more. So there's that. There's lactose intolerance for you. Great. I really hope someone can help me fix this delay thing on this thing. Like, why does it do it sometimes and not other times? Like, in another 20 minutes, this is going to fix itself for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, so, hey, there we go. We just successfully completed our first medical topic. Hey, yeah. So, this has been a component of the podcast. Stick around for more segments or see you on the full, because I am going to be keeping these segmented for YouTube, just so that if people are interested in a particular thing, but they want to see more, they'll have a plug for them to come back and see something else. But maybe we'll adjust it based on post. We'll see. All right. Next topic, the sneaker history topic, which is Adilette slides. Great. Annoying. Okay. So, great. Stop it. Totally. All right. So, now what those are these. I don't know if you guys recall these, the Adilette slides. You see a lot of people rocking these. A lot of people rock the Nike versions as well, but I decided to go with these, and these aren't even my most, definitely they can't be the most comfortable slides just because they're not comfortable. So I imagine there are some that are like super comfy. And obviously the Gucci slides are pretty, Gucci flip-flops are pretty popular. But I went with these classics, and I'll tell you why. I don't want to screw up the history details, and I believe the history's fairly succinct. So we'll just pull up an article real quick and review it, because there wasn't really too much to it, but because of its historic nature, that's why I went with it. So let's see. So, actually, this is a reference from Wikipedia about slides in general. So, a slide is just a a nickname for, backless, open-toed, flippy floppy. All right. Lonely Island triggered. And so the history of it can be traced back to ancient Rome, which, of course, if you look at any like tunic picture of ancient Roman folk, you clearly see like a similar iteration of a slide. But even ancient Egypt and ancient Greece have references of them. And then let's see, the popularity of the slides in the United States started in the late 1960s. Why they don't really have a good answer for me, but itty-witty. Across the world, in Germany, the brand Birkenstock created the first fitness slide. Interesting. So I guess I didn't know that part. I knew that Birkenstocks are obviously pretty historic, and I've been thinking about picking up a pair, to be honest with you, because I do hear that those are very comfortable, and that they kind of form to your foot over time the longer you wear them, and just become very personalized. And I think I'd seen a history video on that before, but maybe I'll make my own in the future if I ever do pick up a pair. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. But anyway, so I was wrong in thinking it was the first slide, but I was right about this. Adidas invented the well-known Adilette pool slide. So this was really meant mostly for pool use, even though people use any and all versions of slides. Well, maybe not the higher end ones, but or the ones with like fur on it, although that would be high end, I guess. But yeah, these are definitely more of like a pool slide or shower slide, but clearly you can use it for like general purpose, which is what I does, and many of y'all do. Now, I remember the main use of it was people after soccer practice in high school or middle school, like they would change out of their cleats, put on the flippy floppies, just as a comfort thing. Your feet are all swollen up for playing and kicking all day, and then it's kind of like a nice little ooh yeah. But I never would do that because I was like, bro, I'll just go home in my cleats and just shower and not have to like scum up a pair of flippy floppies. But I was weird. Now this is not very helpful as far as the specific Adidas history of it, but let me see if this one gives me the answer, because I remember reading this back when I first bought it, because I was trying to decide how to make a decision on which ones to buy. So here's the story. So Adidas invented the Adilette sandal to protect German soccer players from dirty showers, because you have these communal showers, especially with sports athletes who have been sweating they AF off, and then you'll have these group showers that are gross, can be unhealthy, and then let's see. You'd be catching diseases in the shower because, there are some people I can't believe don't like even understand this on a common sense perspective, but like, dude, don't walk around barefoot. I remember meeting kids growing up who just like loved walking around their yard barefoot, or really anywhere across the world and shit. I'm just like, bro, I don't know what's wrong with you, bro, because you can actually absorb worms and like bacteria, funguses right into your feet, into your body. And so that's not smart. And big ups to Adidas for being like, we got to protect our players, man. Let's give them some slides. Adilette. Adidas. So, that's really the brunt of the history of the slide. So, thanks for tuning in on that, and stay tuned for more sneaker history segments on the podcast, but or stick around for another segment of the podcast with this episode. So that was good. Great. So delayed. Let's move on to sneaker releases. Let's see what's being released this week, if at all. So if anyone has like a good aggregated sneaker release calendar that I could look at, that's very popular with folks, or that you highly recommend, so that I can just have it all one place. I know where to go each time I do an episode, and we'll just keep them moving. So let me see sneaker releases. Although the trick with this is I may have to like record this out of order, or like make this a different podcast, because like I'm so backlogged with other podcast episodes and I don't want to go out of order. If like because I feel like I could bust this out much quicker than the regular episodes, especially if I, film like 4 a day, even if I hand them off to editors, unless I start getting a bunch more editors to help out. Damn, I don't know. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Well, I don't need this delayed soundboard for that one. But yeah, just, in the future. And then if also with the sneaker release thing, I feel like I'm overthinking it, but I feel like I would have to make this a recurring episode, only like one day a week, or whatever. I don't know. Let's just take a look, and maybe I'll just have something that catches my eye, and I'll be like, all right, yeah, let's talk about it. So as of today, June 29th. Is today the 29th? Yeah. So today, the Nike Air Max 90B True released, and I'm kind of a fan. It looks pretty good, plus the whole Pride theme to it. Cool. But, just not something I find myself wearing consistently. So I'm going to pass on that. The Adidas Yeezy 700 Utility Black. I got the Wave Runner, so I'm good. None of the other colors have blown me away other than the bluish one with the little bops of beige pinkish or whatever. I forgot the name of that colorway even, but like it just nothing blew me away as well as the Wave Runner, and clearly it shows because Adidas is again re-releasing the Wave Runner. Good for them, man. Glad I spent $700 on the resale market. Yeesh. Jesus. So let's just keep it moving here. So actually, these releases are all former releases, but this one really caught my eye. Actually, the Concepts New Balance 997 Esruk, whatever that means, I don't know. I was just watching a full size run, and they were talking about the story behind it. Esruk, I don't understand that. So yeah, but here they talk about the story of the shoe. So why don't we talk about it real quick? Because this is a cool box too. Wow, these shoes are gorgeous. I'm like on the fence if I should really go for these or not, but whatever. So there was the Red Sox owner Harry Frazee. Although now I feel like we're turning this into another sneaker history segment, which I guess you guys don't mind, right? But fuck it, let's see how it goes, right? So you got the Red Sox owner Harry Frazee sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees in 1919, reportedly to fund his Broadway ventures. It cast a pall upon Boston's beloved baseball team and begun the fabled curse of the Bambino, because all the way from 1919 until most recently 2004, Boston didn't win at all. So it was like the curse of the Bambino. And so, yeah, that was fun while it lasted. And then ever since, Boston's won, like, Jesus, how many titles compared to the Yankees? Not that I'm a huge baseball fan, but it is what it is. I almost feel like this is rolling into our sports topic. So maybe that's what this is. Yeah, why not? Actually, no, I don't want to do that. This is like history for sure. So let's see. Concepts and New Balance are paying homage, or is it homage, to the infamous trade sale monumental blunder with a brand new Balance 997S titled the Esruk, a fitting project as Concept was founded in Boston and also has a store in New York. What that has to do with the name of it, I don't know, but maybe they'll explain. So let me just read ahead here. A luxurious pigskin suede upper, dressed in a regal purple, pink, and gold color scheme with reflective detailing. The retooled midsole sheds weight but retains comfort thanks to NCAP tech. And everything's finalized by co-branded insoles, a unique box, and extra set of laces. Jesus, man, this extra... If the unique box is like part of every release, I may have to freaking go for these. I don't know, man. So that's what they teased. Dion Point, the creative director of Concepts. I remember, shout out to the Camp Out. He reposted this photo on his Instagram of these amazing, beautiful looking pink New Balances. And I was like, damn, son, where'd you find this? And I guess this is what those were. So why they called the Esruk, I don't know. But maybe that was the name of the play that he was, that Boston owner was trying to fund. I don't know, man. Maybe that's another reason why you got to prefer sports over Broadway, I guess. Am I right? Just kidding. Do whatever makes you happy. But I'm definitely more of a sports guy than a musical guy. But yeah, man, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. But again, someone explained the color scheme choices, but I can't seem to find why. But no, whatever. Not that huge of a deal. Kith, I guess, yesterday also released the Kith Saucony Grid Web. These are kind of cool looking, but it is what it is. I don't think I'm going to go for those. Is anything else here catching my eye? Again, these are all old releases, so I don't feel like, I don't know, man. You guys, this is on the Sneaker News, but if you guys have a better place to go for sneaker release calendars, that would be great. I know the Nike Zoom Freak 1 recently debuted. Greek Freak is dope, but like, just same thing with Kyrie. I just like don't relate to them as players, let alone to their sneakers, so I'm just kind of skipping. Plus, I don't need an excuse to start collecting more signature sneaker lines. Kobe and LeBron alone are enough. Jesus. Nothing else is really catching my eye. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Next, let's go to sports, man. I really want to talk about this Lakers-ish, baby. I'm telling you, so I'm a Lakers fan, for those that don't know. Actually, before we do that, signing off on sneaker release segment, this is annoying, right? You don't want to like sign off each segment, or maybe I'll do like a standardized one, probably with better lighting, and then I'll just use that as like thanks for watching this segment of the podcast. Tune in for the next segment of blah, 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 blah. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. Well, see, this is why you do things, because you can figure it out on the fly, baby. I wouldn't have figured that out in my head, no matter how hard I thunk. I would have just had to do it to figure out how to do it. Nah, man. All right. Let's keep it moving. So, sports topics. So, apparently, Irving Nets moving towards 4-year deal. Interesting. So I guess the rumors were true, but who cares? But again, yeah, so I'm a Lakers fan, and as a Lakers fan, obviously we've had some tough times since Kobe left us. It's been tough. But and I have a joke about this in my stand-up with Fairweather fans and all that ish. But anyway, I'm excited to be into the Lakers again, man, because they're going to be exciting to watch. Granted, I was hopeful this past year, but then, LeBron had to pull his groin. Am I right? Thanks, dude / Obama. That was an exciting time, man. We were bodying the Warriors, and then he had to pull his groin, and we still won that game last year. Was it on Christmas? I can't remember. And then, just nothing was the same. Drake triggered. And so now LeBron hopefully will be back much healthier, and we got AD, which I'm loving what I'm hearing with a lot of other folks who are just like, yo, man, AD and LeBron in the pick and roll is going to be unstoppable. And it remains to be seen, but it makes sense. I mean, he's a very mobile big man. LeBron's a very mobile pseudo big man, and a very good ball handler. So, and plus he's expanded his range. I always said in the 07, 08, 09 era of LeBron, like, if this guy gets a three-pointer, y'all in trouble. And I think that reigns true now. And not that it's super consistent, but it's way more consistent than when he was a young pup. You know what I mean? Now, fast forward, now there's rumors that Kawhi could be coming in. And if we get Kawhi, holy lordy. Lord have mercy, I thought hurricane season was over. I mean, golly. That would be OD, man. OD. That'd be amazing. And, I think it's, if I had to put money on it, I would guess he's going to stay with the Raptors, but I don't know, man. Like, part of me too is just like, he wants to come home because he's an LA boy. Nah, man. But yeah, I guess it remains to be seen. And then a lot of people are saying the Clippers rumor, but it's just like, why would you do although he could do for the Clippers what he did for the Raptors, which is make him relevant. Am I right? Anyway, sorry, Raptors fans. I was a Raptors fan briefly when Vince Carter was doing his thing up there. Before I know who Kobe was, I was like a huge Vince Carter fan. No, I shouldn't say huge. I wasn't a huge basketball fan back then. In the early 2000 era, quickly transitioned to Kobe and the Lakers, but it is what it is. Story for another time. Maybe that'll be a segment in and of itself, how I became a Lakers fan. But anyway, or what my sports team preferences are to begin with. Maybe that should just be the next segment. We'll see. But yeah, back to the Lakers. See, if we get Kawhi, that'd be dope. Because think about it, man. Kawhi, LeBron James, and AD and Kuz. Ooh, golly. I don't know why I just did that, but it eat what it eat. Moving on. So yeah, I'm not getting too super excited about it. Like, if it happens, it happens. But the other interesting caveat here is if we get D'Angelo Russell, who kind of was balling last year, you know what I mean? And especially you surround D'Angelo Russell with LeBron James and AD and Kuz. Ooh, that would be fun, man. That would be a fun watch. Plus, it's got the whole, cold ice running through his veins type special move. That'd be cool. That'd be cool to see in 2K. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Lakers and the excitement that's going on right there. So actually, we're going to find out soon because it's June 29th. July 1st is the opening of free agency. So let's see what happened, Captain. Know what I mean? All right, moving on. Next and final topic, Q&A. Obviously, this is a new thing we're doing here, so we're not live, so I can't do that. Let's see how this battery's doing. Battery's not doing great, but we could probably still do it, man. What do you think? Should we do it? Should we just start the live segment this time? We probably should, just to see how it goes, but I thought I had a segment. I do have still some pending lists of questions I still haven't answered for you guys, which I probably should get to, but maybe I'll hold off on that. Maybe let's just go live here and see if the folks got any questions for me. And then we'll wrap this up. What is this, 40 minutes? Not bad, man. I guess we could truly make this like a 1 hour thing. Not bad at all. So let me go live and we'll see what happens. Oh, whoops. I forgot to reverse it. Turn around camera. Hey, yo, we live, baby. So you guys see me live here. Or no, you guys don't see me live there. These folks are perhaps seeing me live here. Folks, I'm here doing the podcast. And it's a new segment. It's a new setup. And maybe I should just wait for a few of you before I tell you what's about to happen here. Hey, yeah, what to do? Yeah, we'll do a few shout outs here. Actually, why don't I do that? I'll start shouting out people that join the podcast. So who do we got live right now? We've got shout out to Ram Stable, Ali Abbas G, The Real Duzd, Kaplan M02, Vip Kicks, Demetrio D. Robles, perhaps? Yeah, Demetrio Robles. Sebastian Cardoso. Cool. That's dope. But I feel like I won't be able to keep up with these unless I keep refreshing. But let me try again. Let's see. Any other new names here? Mato Henderson, Colin Q17, Murtada Majid, Lucas Carrot, Maximilian Lutz, Ian Burns. I feel like we got a few more here, but yeah, what's up, bro? Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate you. Did I catch up on all the topics? I think so. So here's how this works, folks. I'm filming the podcast live from Iowa, and I'm going to start doing a live Q&A segment that will later go on YouTube as part of like its own segment. So if anyone's got any questions, throw them at me. We'll do this for about 11 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap this up. Sub Dario Benka, Gahan Mullen, Mateo Cabrerad, Perch Patchworks, Charlie Boss. Yeah, so shout them out, man. Hey, Doc, if you need some kicks, hit me up anytime. I'd be so down to sell to my favorite YouTuber. Appreciate that. What's up, Ben RN10? Any questions? Let's go, guys. I gotta produce some content here. So maybe live isn't the best option for this segment of the podcast because, we got to have questions here. LeBron or Jordan? Dude, that's a tough debate. Actually, I'm going to write that down for like a future Q&A. You know what I mean? How much do I spend a week on kicks? Hold on. I'm going to put this down for a second. I don't spend like a set amount of time on kick budget. It's just like, if there's like 11 releases that week that I'm into, I'm buying all 11. If there's none, I'm buying none. So it's not like a week-to-week thing. It's more like, what it is. So for sports, before I forget, Jordan versus LeBron. I'm going to save that question and make that the dedicated sports topic next week. So how this works is we've got a medical topic. I'll be starting at the top of the podcast, the show. Then we'll be doing a sneaker history video, then a sneaker history topic. Then we'll be doing a sneaker release topic, which I need some help with, which you can reference on YouTube when I get this episode up as far as like what kind of help I need setting up. Basically what I need, and you can slide into my DM right now if you have an option for me, I need like a good aggregator of what releases are coming out in a relative month or so that I can like just kind of like bust those videos out as far as like sneaker releases and my thoughts on them. Ayo, dado. And then we'll be doing a sports topic, which I'm guessing next week is going to be Jordan versus LeBron. and then we'll be doing a Q&A either live or we'll incorporate the live into its own segment. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, so we'll see. Let's see. I missed a couple questions here, and it's probably going to be impossible for me to like stay up to date with these questions as we go. But I'll do my best, at least with this first one. So, favorite pair of kicks? I gotta say the Red Octobers, baby. What's your favorite New Balance sneaker of all time? I gotta say the 997 Butterscotch, baby. The first one I ever got, the one that got me into New Balance before, back when I was like, yo, New Balance is for dads. Ew, it's not cute. And then later, I was just like, yo, these are fire. Especially because with the packaging, bro, packaging is everything. Let me tell you. Let's see. Iran gang, ayo, gang. Do you think Yeezys should make a new model? Yep. But am I kind of happy that they don't? Yep. Because that means less Yeezys for me to buy. Because I always buy one of every new silhouette of Yeezys. So, I'd hate to have to, keep buying new ones if they keep doing it. How hard is it to juggle work as a doctor and having a YouTube channel? Dude, it's hard. Yeah, YouTube, podcasting, comedy, doctoring. It's just like, Lord have mercy. I thought hurricane season was over, but it ain't. I'm still at this ish. So it's not easy, man. There's a lot of stress behind the scenes, but I try to limit that for y'all. So I'm trying to show y'all a good time. And I do try to keep it positive most of the time, but it is difficult. But a lot of it also has to do with the fact that my brain is wired different. So like I can just like keep going at certain things when other people are just like, woo, that's a lot. So I don't know. Let's see, who else has a question here? How hard was it to get into medical school? It was pretty tough, man. And I do have a dedicated video on how I got into medical school on my YouTube channel, so feel free to reference that. I have a medical playlist and a Q&A playlist. There's a lot of overlap in the videos on that playlist, so feel free to check that out and look for the specific topic you're looking for, or just search engine it. Hopefully it works. If you type in Dr. Souls 11, should pop up. 11. Your hair is popping. Thanks, B. Bro, I know you from back in the early 2000s. My cousin used to hang out with you. Oh, that's you, bro. Yo, what's up? Troy gang, what it do? That's crazy. That's what's up. Tell him I said salam. What do you think of the most recent Off-Whites that dropped? The Terra Kiger 5s. I always want to say Tiger Cura 5 or whatever. I haven't gotten them yet, man. They are in the mail. They're shipped, and I should be getting them soon. So, yeah, we'll hope to get my thoughts on them. But so far, I'm a fan, man. Anything similar to the Yeezy question, I'm kind of being pissed anytime Virgil drops something new because I feel like I have to get it. You know what I mean? Let's see. What do you think of the most recent? Okay, we threw that one. Underhyped shoes on your radar that you're thinking about getting. Underhyped shoes on my radar. Perhaps the Samson Pumas, the OGs that they brought back. Been thinking about those, but haven't really pulled that trigger. But we'll see. That's the only thing that comes to mind currently. If not GI, what other medical field would have you gone into? Ooh, that's tough. What would I have gone into? I probably would have stuck to hospitalist. I did want to do ER. I just didn't get into any programs really, or I really didn't get enough interviews to like make me feel comfortable that I would match. Although in retrospect, I don't know if ER would be a good lifestyle for me. That shit is high-paced AF in certain places, especially for the kind of money I'd be looking for. So I'd probably stick with just hospitalist, I'm guessing. But there was a bunch of fields I went through that I was like, yo, I want to do all this ish. So what you gonna do? Favorite ASICs? Ooh, that's tough. I want to say the Gel Life 5 Volcanoes are on the short list. The Salmon Toe 1.0s are obviously on the short list. The Sage Gel Life 5s are incredible too. The Rose Gold GT2s. There's a bunch, man. But if I had to pick one and only one, probably just the Volcano Gel Life 5s, I want to say. Just purely from a comfort and look perspective. Not that the Gel Life 5s aren't, or Gel Life 3s aren't comfortable, but those are OD comfy. What's your favorite Adidas out? Favorite Adidas? I mean, I guess I got to call back my claim to fame, Adidas Superstars, because that was the first love. And I mean, like the cut, thank you, appreciate it. Although I haven't had a haircut in a couple of weeks, but itty would-a-dee. Thought on the Bread Ones re-release. I don't know that that's going to happen. I have my qualms about that. I don't know if that's a real thing. I really don't think so. But if it is, it is. I mean, they just came out in 2016. Why would they do another one in 2019? Unless there's like a special component to it, like not a satin, but like something. I don't know. They're going to do something weird with it. I don't know if they do it, but I don't know. I haven't heard enough rumors about it to like be convinced. So I always usually wait for like leaked pictures. That's like kind of my first clue. Is like, okay, maybe this is serious. Where did I get those glasses? Oliver Peoples. This is the Gregory Peck model. I was looking for a classic 1960s looking ish, and this fit the bill. And you can get them in multiple colors. Thinking about picking up another pair in the turtle shell colorway, if you will, because that's, I believe, what he was wearing in the actual movie To Kill a Mockingbird. But yeah, that's why I love these glasses. We need more recent NMD Hue shoes. I don't know if we need them, but I'm sure they're coming. I mean, they keep, putting those out all at the time. Let's see who else is around here. Come on. Release an OG high cuts. I mean, didn't they already do that in 2016? I don't know, man. Let's see. Dan, props to you. Thank you. Favorite working comedian today? Ooh. Probably Andrew Schultz. Yeah. He's killing it, man. He's killing it. But there's a bunch on my short list. Like, we got Tim Dillon, crushes it every time I see him. And his podcast, Jesus. Ooh, Giannis Pappas, man. Don't sleep on Giannis Pappas. Chris DiStefano. Who else is on my short list that I love seeing? No other names really. Oh, Mark Norman's great. Mark Norman. There's a bunch, man. I can't. Caitlin Palufo, yo. Caitlin Palufo's a beast. Yo, she crushes it, dude. I was dying when I saw her. She's amazing. If one brand you had to wear for the rest of your life. Oh, man, that's tough. Fuck. One brand for the rest of my life? I gotta say Nike, just because they have the biggest catalog. So I could, like, go high-end, low-end, sporty, luxurious. Like, they're covering a mad ton of bases, know what I mean? So, yeah, and then top 5, I don't know if I have enough time to go into that now, but maybe ask again. We'll see in the future. Where do I live? I live in New York. Your apartment is nice. Thank you. Let's see. Amir. Okay. Do you have a P.O. box for fan mail? Not yet, but man, if this keeps up, I'll definitely get one. Which comedy club do you perform at? I technically perform at all of them. It's just that they're open mics. I don't do actual shows yet. I'm not good enough. I haven't been passed. I did do well in my Broadway Comedy Club, quote, audition, which they said they'll have me back for one more spot on a professional show in August. So, August, was it 16th or 18th? Whichever day of those is a Sunday, I'm performing at the 10 o'clock show, or 10:10 is my time block, so that's when I'll be performing. So, yeah, if you're looking for a good show with professionals on it, plus me, that'll be happening that August Sunday. Let's see, get haircut. I really do need to come up with a solution for this hair, because it is starting to get a little annoying. Like, how far am I going to take this, really? You know what I mean? Favorite stand-up comedian of all time? Easy, Patrice O'Neal. Fahad, hold this L. The hair's on point. No, that's funny. Let's see. What's up? How long do you want to be a doctor for? Any plans to dip out early and pursue something else? Not really. I feel like I've talked about this number of times before on the podcast, let alone on these Q&A, IG lives and other places. Like, I don't know that I could ever leave medicine purely simply because, like, it keeps me grounded. Like, I feel bad for people that are, like, purely in the creative art space, because sometimes you'll lose your mind, man, especially when someone shoots a negative comment at you and you're just like, damn, am I really bad? Like, who's to know? It's all so subjective in the creative space. But, like, with medicine, it's just like, bruh, say whatever the fuck you want. I'm a doctor. I save lives, B. Say whatever the fuck you got to say. I can take it. So that's my attitude towards that. What is your favorite SB? Ooh, favorite SB? Damn, son, where'd you find this? Ooh, favorite SB. Okay, if you were going to say favorite dunk, Syracuse dunks for sure. If you're going to say favorite SB dunk, damn, man, I got to say the Pigeons, obviously. Pigeon dunks, duh. New York. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking. Do you prefer the pink, black, or OG off-white Zoom fly? I prefer the pink. But the black was nice. I briefly had that. I made videos on both. The OG was just like too white and clearly was going to yellow, and just, I don't like it all that much, but you know, whatever floats your boat. Have you ever gotten a comment from your patients about your kicks or hair? Yep. Not as often as you would think. The hair definitely a lot more. The kicks, not so much. Occasionally they'll see a shoe that they like and they're like, what do you call it? they really don't know what they're looking at, so they don't really say anything. But anyway, you saw me at Refinery Rooftop, but didn't want to say hi since you seem busy. I mean, you could say hi. I would prefer you say hi. Yeah, folks, if you see me in the crowds, please say hi. I would be more than happy to say hi back. A kid stopped me actually last couple of weeks ago while I was in New York, and it was just like, I was just like, yo, who is this guy? I was a little scared, but they was like, oh, bro, you're like the first public figure I've ever met. Keep it up. I love it. I was just like, whoa, I don't know about public figure, but that's kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool that you guys are fans, supporters. I appreciate it. Pigeon Ducks all the way. I agree. Appreciate the latecomers coming in here. I think we should wind this down, though. Dude. What's going on, Askifa? But yeah, appreciate you guys sticking around. This is, again, just to wrap this up, this is part of the podcast. I'm doing like a live Q&A segment at the end. I don't know if I'm going to... I assume... What do you call it? That this is going to be like a regular recurring segment, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know if this is like as wise or not, but you guys let me know if this flowed okay for you, then we'll keep it in as like a live thing. If we, what do you call it? If we decide that we're going to just structure it where maybe I'll do the live as its own thing, maybe at the very, very end, and then I pull some questions from there to put into the Q&A segment as a dedicated thing, especially if it's a question I got to think on, like a Jordan versus LeBron type of debate or whatever, as suggested earlier. We'll do that. But yeah, we'll see, man. This was fun. This flow. This was maybe the quickest hour of my life. I mean, granted, we're at 56 minutes, but yeah. So, yeah, I was with a big group of people, but we were having a good time just dancing and ish. You should have said hi. People can say hi. It's all good. Yeah, so I'll be out here in Iowa for a little bit here, and then I got a few other updates coming. Definitely will be working on more of this. And again, just to clue you guys in what this format is going to be, I'm basically going to start with a medical topic at the beginning of the podcast. We'll roll that into a sneaker history video. And then, let's see, then we'll do a sneaker release segment. If you guys can help me find a place that has like a good aggregated, place for content of, release dates so that I can just like quickly go through it on, say, like a monthly basis. Cause I don't know how often we're going to be talking about this. I mean, we could talk about the same, whatever. Let's worry about that later. Yeah, appreciate you guys, man. And then what else was I going to say? Yeah, so then sneaker release topic, then a sports topic, and then this Q&A segment, which we'll probably keep live because this was fun. And then actually, I'm thinking I'll just shout out whoever stuck around till the end of the live to appreciate my support for sticking around. Although, I mean, there's no way to prove that everyone stuck around, but, it is what it is. So we got Sheena, Kaplan Morgan, Oscar Shah, unable to join, Mateo Cabrera, Sam Franchik, John Tewksbury, Jure Worldwide, Mario Soria, Demetrio Robles, Pastry Playhouse, Lucas Carrot, and Maximilian Lutz, whichever one that is. So appreciate you guys. And we got a late entrant, Wood Fishes. Nice. It is what it is for sure. Thanks for joining, guys. I'm going to sign off on ya. Bye. All right. That was fun, folks. So that was the live segment. I'm feeling it. I'm going to get out of here. I got to eat dinner. Sun's starting to fade a little bit. This was a lot of fun. Maybe we will make this a very recurring thing. Maybe even like a daily thing. I could probably do this daily, for an hour. I think it's possible. If not, at least, a couple times a week, if not more. And then again, I referenced this in a previous episode, but we'll be planning to do like anytime I have like a guest on, we'll just, kind of keep it casual, probably not stick to the same format and just go from there. So, hey, yo, what it do? Thanks for joining in on the podcast. We'll see you around. Bye. Peace.